What's going on, everybody? It's the Front, and we're back again with another Elestrals Divine Champions Firestorm reveal. Fire is back under the spotlight. What is this new artifact support? We'll see right now.
The time for artifacts and Elestrals is right now. You didn't think I'd leave behind my man Hephaestus, did ya? Let's dive in. Yesterday we broke down.
I figured it wouldn't be in this one, but when we get the whatever the new champion, the new Divine versus Hephaestus is, I'm hoping the starter deck is going to be another Trifernal one, just because if we're going to reprint things, give me Trifernal Champion of Hephaestus. Just saying.
Down our incredible 8 spirit arts and some new full arts, including full art eruption. So if you missed that one, check it out. But we're going to be throwing down with some of Hephaestus' strongest soldiers here in this breakdown video. It is going to be so hype, man. Artifacts are on the table now, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a lot of fun. Make sure you guys pre-order Firestorm if you haven't done so yet. You can do it at shopelestrals.com. Pick up an incredible double starter deck bundle for just 25 bucks. Comes with 4 packs. And don't miss out on our amazing booster boxes, of course, as well, to get some stellar rares, our new reverse stellar rares, and everything in between, including code cards that give you free caster coins. You can get stamp promos and even more free stuff. It's going to be awesome. Without further ado, let's talk about Hephaestus' first champion. That is going to be Rumacol, champion of Hephaestus. This Rumacol has a very, very cool effect. It's a 3 attacker with 2 defense that says when you cast this Rumacol, you can return an artifact rune from your underworld to your hand.
Okay.
This Rumacol gets +1 attack for each enchanted artifact rune on the field, both yours and your opponent's. So simply by casting an artifact, you're going to give this thing +1 attack. So any artifact like Torch of Hestia that's giving it buff is going to actually buff this even further and turn it into quite a powerhouse. And you have the flexibility of being able to grab an artifact from your underworld, so that way you have some opportunities to be able to get this thing juiced up and ready to rock and roll. Of course, you got to give some love to that incredible armband on that Rumacol. Very much so resembling Hephaestus. This card is going to be super duper cool. But I'll tell you what, the next couple cards I'm going to reveal are way cooler. Up next, we've got Scavicol, champion of Hephaestus, one of my favorite design effects we've ever done. This card hits the field with 6 attack and 6 defense, 2 cost fire, and it has an insanely powerful effect. This Scavicol in your hand can special ascend from your Fire Elestral if you have at least 2 enchanted artifact runes on your field. So if you're able to get 2 artifacts in your field and a Fire Elestral, you can special ascend it into Scavicol. But what makes this card really unique is it also says artifacts that were empowering that Elestral start empowering this Scavicol instead of being sent to the underworld.
That's crazy.
This is something a lot of people always seem to ask.
That is really nuts, because we do not have that. That is something I hope we see on other better Elestrals, I'd say, too. I mean, like having having a hammer and one of Hestia's things on your Elestral, you put, like, wow, that's actually a very good effect.
Ask about Elestrals is when you ascend an Elestral and they have an artifact on them, does it keep the artifact? And the answer is no. But the answer is now yes with this Scavicol. So now you can freely ascend your Elestral into Scavicol, and you can do so with a special ascend, so you can turbo it out, and you're not going to lose those artifacts.
I don't like that it's only one. It has to be 2 artifacts. Like, only one seems like enough, because how many people are going to be putting 2 artifacts on the field at the same time on the one Elestral? I don't see it happening that often.
And those spirits that were previously empowering the Elestral you ascended. I'm sure you guys could think of some spicy applications for this, but Scavicol here is looking to do some massive damage for artifact decks in Firestorm. Now that's all good and dandy, some new artifact support, but you're probably still thinking, Dan, Hephaestus still isn't that good. But that's gonna change right now, because we are introducing one of the most powerful cards we've ever created, something that is going to jumpstart Hephaestus and his strategy to an entirely different realm, and that is his Ace Elestral, Volcaries, champion of Hephaestus. This Volcaries sports awesome braids reminiscent of Hephaestus, his divine, and this is going to hit the field with 4 attack and 2 defense and helps him in the forge create the incredible
Okay, that's an interesting one.
And man, oh man, this effect gets me excited. When you cast this Volcaries, you can search your deck for Hephaestus and add it to your hand. So you immediately have Hephaestus searching abilities here. So you can get your artifact consistency, you can get your divine rune consistency, you can set up for those Nexus plays. While Hephaestus is enchanted, you may also use fire spirits from your underworld to play artifact runes.
Not bad.
You heard that right. That means that you get free artifact casts with your Volcaries. You play your Volcaries.
That ain't bad. I mean, like, it also doesn't mean, like, you could also, like, Poison Tunic could be very useful here, because it is, of course, as we know, Omni. So you could have Volcaries on the field, you get your Hephaestus, you pull out your Poison Tunic, you play it and use your fire spirits from your underworld to be able to attach it to one of your opponent's Elestrals. Or, of course, buff it up to with the hammer or whatever else.
You search out your Hephaestus, you play your Hephaestus, you disenchant from Hephaestus to search your deck for artifacts, and then you use the spirits that are in your underworld to play your artifacts, making Volcaries insane. And then you have the ability to turbo into Scavical and keep those same artifacts. So much potential here for artifact decks,
Interesting
and
combo.
Volcaries is going to be an essential piece of that, enabling Hephaestus and his pure power here in Elestrals Divine Champions Firestorm. Those new Elestrals are going to change how we look at artifacts forever, but any good blacksmith has a few tools in his tool belt that he needs, and we know that Hephaestus already has his hammer, but now it's time for us to break out
The hammer is not a good artifact, let's just be honest.
the Anvil of Hephaestus.
Anvil.
This new artifact rune is a 1-cost artifact that says the empowered Elestral gets +1 attack. Then it goes on to say that when an artifact rune on your field is sent to the underworld, you can enchant each spirit that was enchanting that artifact rune from your underworld to a card on your field. That is bonkers.
This, again, actually pairs well with the Poison Tunic, because when you play Poison Tunic on Elestral and you destroy that Elestral, and you have this on the field, that artifact goes to the underworld, but then you just get those two spirits from that Poison Tunic and put them somewhere else, because it does say artifacts, and Poison Tunic is an artifact.
I don't know if you guys realize what that can do, but this basically means that any of those spirits that you perhaps cast out for free with your Volcaries, or just in general, when those cards are sent to the underworld, you get to keep those spirits, and you can essentially re-enchant them to other cards on your field, which can enable receive effects, it can enable Elestrals that get powered up through the Volcanic Forge, and it has a lot of awesome implications as more protection for artifact decks. This is searchable through Hephaestus, and it's going to allow you to kind of maintain your strategy, and otherwise a game plan that's pretty cost intensive, right? Playing artifacts can be very expensive, and up until this point haven't necessarily been as useful, but being able to pair Anvil of Hephaestus alongside some of these artifacts allow you to keep the spirits free from using your underworld. You can utilize your Volcaries to do that, keep them on the field when you ascend with your Scavical, give yourself different attack buffs with your Rummicle, and then of course maintain those spirits on the field with your Anvil if your plan does not go exactly as you envisioned. Very, very awesome stuff. And to further help our artifact decks, I'm still not done, we've got a brand new Invoke rune for fire that is going to be so massive to help enable these decks. It is a 1-cost Invoke rune called Reforge, featuring some cute little melodies. Return an artifact rune from your underworld to your hand. Return spirits equal to that artifact rune's enchantment cost from your underworld to your spirit deck.
That's a healer.
This means that you can trade your Reforge for another artifact. Very simply put, you basically play Reforge, you grab an artifact out of your underworld, add it to your hand, and then based on that enchantment cost of that artifact, you can heal spirits.
Again, this is
absolutely massive. So many.
I'm seeing, obviously they want to use hammer, and they want you to use Hestia's things, but again, Poison Tunic is seeing a lot of, you could use this with Poison Tunic. Again, you use Reforge, you play Poison Tunic. It's Omni, so you get to pick two spirits that you have to take from your underworld to your spirit deck, which is going to be fire most likely. Really good, really cool looking spirit one here.
Cool tools for the Hephaestus toolbox now, being able to utilize artifact runes in a unique way, maintain spirits on board, regenerate spirits from your underworld, and get the most amount of value out of those artifacts to
This one definitely feels like if you're playing multiple artifacts, which I don't see many people playing multiple artifacts, you would definitely want to play 3 of these, just because, because you could get up to from 3 to 6 spirits back just from playing Reforge.
Enabled that style of play into the game, where previously it was very underpowered. I think there's a lot of really cool implications here in Firestorm for artifact decks, Hephaestus, and his brand new champions. I hope you guys are as amped up about this one as I am. I love.
I don't know, it's definitely going to be interesting to see. Obviously, it does lean very heavy into fire, but those Omni artifacts also will be very helpful for them as well. Poison Tunic, obviously, is the one that I'm thinking of the most, because it's probably the best Omni artifact out there. Get the Poison Tunic, you play it down, you get 2 fire spirits from the underworld to it, it gets destroyed, you play Reforge, you get it back, and then you get those fire spirits back. So, yeah, going to be interested to see how this gets implemented. Again, I don't see too many people playing two artifacts at the same time that often. I mean, I've seen it be done, but it's not that often. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Yeah, again, it's just not hitting like I hope he thinks it is. Firestorm's not really doing that much that I really would like to go, oh my god, this is the best set yet. Nah. It's an okay set, it's a fine set, but it's not something I'm going to sit there and go, I need to go out and buy every single product 5 times over. Some people are going to do that because they want the Stellars or like, deep into it, that's like, it's just what they do. But me, it's just, they're not impressing me enough to be able to go, I need to go out there and get a bunch. But, yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.